Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Following is a News Channel 8 special presentation.
Week 2 of Nevada Newsmakers begins with another hot show. Andy's got the rundown.
Sam, turn on any talk radio station and you'll hear about the liberal media. But does that apply to Nevada's media? Greg Bortolin, press secretary to the governor, is here this morning, and he's going to tell us. And Sharon Angle and Jan Gilbert offer voters a real choice. One's a liberal Democrat, and the other is a conservative Republican. And they're both on the hot seat.
Thanks, Andy, and stay tuned for the political pundit panel. It'll be an interesting one today with Dick Gammick. Also, we'll have Greg Ferraro and Martha Gould. Stand by for fireworks on the next Nevada Newsmakers, coming up now.
Aloha! Reno's best sushi bar just got better. Our teppanyaki tables are poetry in motion, featuring 3 chefs with over 25 years experience. Enjoy the fun of teppanyaki. It's dinner and a show where the props are your food. 6 experienced sushi chefs offer a quick meal of the best tasting sushi in town at the lowest prices. Aloha Sushi Japanese Steakhouse, Kitsuki and Moana behind Mervin's. It's more than just a meal, it's a work of art.
BK's Wine Storage and Accessories is a state-of-the-art, climate-controlled facility with private wine lockers in a size to accommodate any collection. Your lock, your key. BK's is also the perfect place for a memorable, sophisticated gift of wine. Labels are printed with recipient's name and personal message and are perfect for individual or corporate giving. Special wedding packages are also available. BK's Wine Storage and Accessories. Call 786-4744 or visit their website at bkswinestorage.com.
I don't have enough time to get my health checked. If you want more time, get a health check. Health Check, a comprehensive health screening program for the early detection of heart disease, strokes, and cancer. Reno Diagnostic Centers. For appointments or information, call 785-6305.
As the seasons change and the nights become longer, it's time to think about a new bed for the winter. And there's no better place to find a great deal on a new bed than Rick's Furniture Warehouse. Stop by and check out their great selection of beds in all sizes, from pillow top to orthopedic and extra firm mattresses to a variety of bunk beds, day beds, and trundle beds for the kids. If you're looking for complete bedroom sets, a new headboard, or accessories for your bedroom, shop the other stores, then come to Rick's Furniture Warehouse for their everyday low prices. Rick's Furniture Warehouse at the corner of Moana and Kitsuki Lane in Reno.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and political analyst Ande Engleman.
When anything of consequence happens in the governor's office, the first telephone to ring is that of the press secretary, and that's Greg Bortolin, and he is with us this morning on the hot seat to start off the program with Ande Engleman. Welcome, Greg. Pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
First question is, the one on everybody's mind, is how is the governor?
Governor's doing well, and I'm sure he appreciates you asking. He left the hospital on Wednesday, and he's recuperating in his home in Las Vegas.
You know, there's a lot of flack about him having his surgery done in Southern California. Personally, I think a person should go have surgery done wherever they please. What do you think?
I think it's a personal decision, and it's one that I nor he should have to defend.
Greg, let's talk a little bit about Nevada's media. We do hear on talk radio all about the liberal media. Is Nevada's newspapers and television news departments, are they liberal?
They're probably labeled liberal by the radio, the ultra-conservative radio talk hosts. It's always been interesting to me as someone who's lived in Nevada most of my life that in conservative Reno we have I guess an editorial page that tends to be on the liberal bent, maybe, but I think the Reno Gazette-Journal for the most part plays it right down the middle. Whereas in Las Vegas you have almost a libertarian editorial page, my former employer, the Las Vegas Review-Journal. But you know, the Las Vegas Sun, I think, does kind of balance that out a little bit.
What about the television news departments?
I think television, North and South, plays it right, does a pretty good job of playing it right down the middle.
Do you find any political sway in those television news departments?
Not particularly. What's interesting in Las Vegas, I think, of late, you have John Ralston appears at one, he's probably, John is probably the the most prominent political analyst, pundit in the state. And John is, part of what John does appears on Channel 8 and Channel 1, which is in Las Vegas.
That's the cable station.
Yes, yes, and which is a cooperative effort between the Las Vegas Sun and Channel 8 in Las Vegas. So, you know, I think that you see a little bit more political analysis in the South than you do the North, but I also think that's more reflective of the size of the media markets as well.
One last question for me is, why doesn't the governor hold more press conferences? It seems the last couple of governors in this state, you know, are almost unnoticeable unless they have a statement they wish to issue, but as far as actually getting out there and mingling with the media.
I think Sam, the media probably sees the governor more in the southern part of the state than he does the northern part. And again, that's just based upon population, 70% of the population in one place and 15% of the population in Washoe County. So we probably, and that's probably a northern viewpoint.
The other complaint we hear is that, well, the media is not telling us the truth because they're owned by the government. The government they're just in with everybody that's in power and just giving the party line. Do we ever do stories that the governor doesn't like?
All the time. my phone rings early. No, it's amazing though. The governor does get along well, I think, with even people in the media with opposing viewpoints. He's a really easygoing, whereas he's a really hardworking man. I think that
when there's a story the governor doesn't like, what time does your phone ring?
Usually it's somebody else on the staff that I get a phone call from. But the governor himself is, you know, he's pretty.
And what do you do then?
What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, first of all, you have to read the story. You have to react to. I mean, you have to see if. Sometimes we might not like something, but it's accurate. And so, what do you do?
Greg, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. And give our regards to the governor.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And when we come back, we'll be joined by one of our contestants in the upcoming race. The other is not here yet. We'll find out. We'll come back.
If you've ever been turned down for auto financing, you're going to love this phone number, 1-800-APPROVED. We do one thing all day long, help good people just like you reestablish their credit and get you back behind the wheel where you belong. 1-800-APPROVED. We have a tremendous selection of cars, trucks, vans, sport utility vehicles, and we approve loans 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because we have millions of dollars to lend. 1-800-APPROVED, regardless of your credit history. 1-800-APPROVED. The sooner you call, the sooner you're approved.
Over the past 20 years, I've seen a lot of changes in education.
I hope that I've had a positive effect on the students who have sat in my classroom.
I've taught them English and math.
I've taught them science.
But if there's one legacy I hope I've left with them,
it's the value of a quality education.
In my experience, the Nevada State Education Association
has consistently stood up for quality education
for our kids and their future.
Any questions?
All-American Auto Title Loan and Check Advance is closer to home. If you need money, it's the place to go. In Carson City, Sparks and Reno.
Now, a quick check is just a short drive away. In Carson City, we're at 402 East Telegraph, Sparks at 205 North McCarran, and in Reno at 1255 South Wells Avenue.
All-American Auto Title Loan and Check Advance.
We are in the middle of a high-tech revolution. With cell phones, pagers, and email, communication is faster and easier than ever before. But what about communicating with our kids? Make communication in your family an interactive experience, the old-fashioned way. Talk to your kids.
Children First is brought to you by the Washoe Education Association.
As of 4 days ago, both of our candidates in Assembly District 26 had confirmed their appearances here on the program. This morning, only one has shown up. Sharon Engel did not make it and did not call to say that she could not make it. So we're going to carry on with her opponent, Jan Gilbert, and she joins us over here at the desk. Andy?
Sam, also, we contacted Greg Miller, who's the independent American in this district, and he did not respond to us.
Okay, let's start out.
Okay. All right. Jan, you're a member of PLAN. What does PLAN stand for, P-L-A-N?
It's the Progressive Leadership Alliance of Nevada. It's a broad-based progressive coalition statewide.
All right, now is progressive another word for liberal?
You can call it what you may, but it represents interests of working people, environmentalists, women's groups, community groups that are involved with health care, those sorts of ideas.
And where do you stand on taxes?
Well, you know, before I talk about taxes, I like to look at the aspect of our government and what we need to provide for education, social services. And I think our governor has made it very clear we are down to the bone, and we need to raise taxes. Our state is too heavily reliant upon sales tax and gaming tax, and I think we need to broaden our base. And I think it's long overdue, and it's a turning point in Nevada's history, I think.
You're on the governor's tax policy committee, correct?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not.
That was a mistake in the paper. I've attended almost every meeting, but I'm not a member.
Well, that's what happens. You attend so many meetings.
I'll tell you, they think you're part of the group.
What do you think about a state lottery, though?
I'm opposed to a state lottery. Because the majority of people who end up playing the lottery are low and middle income people. We have the most regressive tax structure in the country. This is just going to make it worse because low and moderate income people end up playing the lottery. And I just don't think it's a good idea.
But there are companies booming. The highest sales on lottery tickets is just across the border here on I-80, and they're making a ton of dough with Nevadans coming there and spending their money out of state in California, going up to Hallelujah Junction and spending their money. Aren't people going to do what they want to do? And if they want to do that, you know, it's your choice. You don't have to do it. It would raise $50 million a year.
It's interesting. My mother was just visiting from California, brought her lottery ticket, and we went online to see if she won. And she was telling me she's a very avid reader, that they're really making very little from the lottery. It's ended up going to a lot of administration of the program. If we want to fund our schools, which I believe we should be funding our public schools, we need a solid tax. And, you know, if we have a business tax, a net profits tax, and exempt small businesses, half that money will come from out-of-state businesses.
When you say small businesses, what is the cutoff point?
The one I was looking at, and I think the teachers proposed, was $50,000 in net profits. And you know, a small business can do all kinds of things to eliminate profits. They can give increases in raises. They can give, you know, bonuses at the end of the year.
Well, Jan, excuse me, but I'm getting emails from people who, you know, probably make a little bit more than that, but are finding it very tough going right now. And if their taxes are raised, they may have to stop providing medical care and health insurance for their people. I mean, there are some businesses, this is not good times for businesses right now.
It isn't, but I think the ones that we want to attack, and if we want to raise that cap to 100,000, I'm not opposed to that. I think we need to look at a broad-based business tax that's going to hit those at the upper levels. And I think we can, and I think the Governor's Task Force is looking at a gross receipts tax. That's the way they're looking at it. I'm not opposed to that, long as we figure a way that we get people who should be paying tax and aren't.
Now, businesses don't have an unending supply of money. How do you expect them to come up to be able to pay these taxes?
Well, you know, the big box stores that come to our state, Kmart, you pay the same for a pair of shoes in Nevada as you pay in California, yet they're not paying taxes here. And I think they should pay. And I think the people I'm talking to on the street feel the same way.
But you know, the whole point of Nevada over the years has been that we're a business-friendly state, that we're offering all these kinds of incentives to bring businesses here. We're looking for diversification of the economy. Doesn't that hurt us in that effort?
Well, I think what hurts us is we don't have a very good education system. And if we don't provide a quality public school, we're not going to get the quality business that we want. And I'd like to see businesses that come to this state that provide health care, that provide living wages, that are here because they love our environment and they love our public schools. But we're not going to get those people if we don't have the schools. And I really feel strongly that we are destroying our public schools. We're one of the bottom in per pupil expenditures. We're down to 45th below Mississippi.
But it's kind of a chicken and egg situation.
It is.
If you don't bring in the businesses, then you're not going to have the support for that infrastructure to begin with.
One real quick question, Jan, because we're running out of time. If you could request one bill, because I know your opponent can request bills right now, but you can. If you can request one bill, what would it be?
Well, an issue that I'm very interested in, and that is renewable energy. Last session, we had a renewable energy portfolio that required the power companies to buy renewable energy. Unfortunately, there were some wording in the bill that limited basically the requirement, and I think we need to strengthen that. And I'd just like to say that my opponent, she had 28 bills in the state legislature that she was a prime sponsor. She only passed 3. I know how to get things done at the state government, and I really want to do a good job and get things done, and I feel that I can do that.
Jan Gilbert, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And we regret your opponent didn't make it.
I'm
but
sorry,
thank you.
too.
All righty, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be back here with our political pundits, and it'll be an exciting session. Martha Gould will be here, Dick Gammick, and Greg Ferraro. Stay tuned.
BK's Wine Storage and Accessories is a state-of-the-art, climate-controlled facility with private wine lockers in a size to accommodate any collection. Your lock, your key. BK's is also the perfect place for a memorable, sophisticated gift of wine. Labels are printed with recipient's name and personal message and are perfect for individual or corporate giving. Special wedding packages are also available. BK's Wine Storage and Accessories. Call 786-4744 or visit their website at bkswinestorage.com.
Your health. You want to stay informed wherever you are, whether it's here in the operating room, here at the gym. You'll want to know about appropriate medication or treatment options available to you. For the latest in medical breakthroughs and health facts, News Channel 8 gives you the details you'll need for a better quality of life.
Medical news from Northern Nevada's #1 news source. Medical Minutes with Terry Russell. Weeknights at 5 on News Channel 8. Sponsored by Washoe Medical Center.
There's a special magic in friendship, and it all comes alive on stage in the new family hit, Let's Be Friends, starring Jim Henson's Sesame Street Muppets.
Friends, friends everywhere for us to meet.
Sesame Street Live presents Let's Be Friends, the only show created for this special time in your young child's life. Don't miss it.
Let's be friends.
Don't miss the fun at the Lawler Event Center October 8th and 9th. Tickets are on sale at the box office and all ticket.com locations. See you there.
It's so easy. Easy router. Easy router. It's so easy.
Sewer line failing, septic system draining slowly. Hey, don't tear up your expensive landscaping. Call Easy Rooter, your no-dig sewer and pipe replacement experts. Easy Rooter for a total replacement of sewer or drainage system, all without digging. For all your plumbing needs, call Easy Rooter.
It's so easy. Easy router.
And welcome back to Nevada Newsmakers. We're joined by our pundit panel today, and we are joined by Dick Gammick, who's the Washoe County District Attorney, Martha Gould, who is on the Washoe County Democratic Central Committee, and Greg Ferraro, President of R&R, who seems to skew Republican somewhere along the line.
I feel like I'm the Democrat between 2 Republicans.
Well, let's talk about, first of all, Sharon Angle. Doesn't bother showing up. Now, you know, campaign finance reform, we need to have free TV, free this and that and the other.
Let me tell you something. Sharon Angle does not have a great record of getting things done in the legislature. But what really, how do I say this nicely, made me angry, she has misrepresented something, and that's her stand when she talks about getting the $26 million+ for literacy. She had nothing to do with that. The grant actually was done by the Nevada State Department of Education, and the award actually came to the state before she even introduced her bill, which, by the way, was totally gutted and rewritten because, as it stood, it was an impossible bill. So I have real problems. First of all, why doesn't she show up? Secondly, I don't like her skewing information when she talks to people. She misrepresents herself, and I think that's very bad.
Here's what I think. I think we've got a lot bigger issues to debate in the state other than whether or not a candidate for the Assembly is here at this meeting today. Maybe she had a flat tire, maybe she got sick, who knows?
We have
let's talk about issues.
Wait, all right, let me ask you, wait a minute.
You know, the telephone service works really well, and people are complaining constantly to television stations. The National Association of Broadcasters is fighting all the time to prevent themselves having to give up their airtime to candidates because candidates say it's too expensive. Here is free airtime.
Look, I think Jan did great today.
I understand, but I mean,
let's talk about it.
Let me bring up something. The Las Vegas Review-Journal, after the last session, did a poll, and I think you were one of the participants in the poll. They polled the lobbyists and other people at the building. And Sharon Angle was one of the 5 worst legislators in the Assembly.
And
Now-
some legislators wear that as a badge of courage.
But what goes into that? But what goes into that poll? What kinds of things, Greg?
We need people in the legislature who make a point of knowing the issues and be willing to address the issues in a constructive manner, and also understanding that in the legislative process there's something known as compromise.
I agree with that. I think Martha's absolutely right. I think that let's say that Sharon, let's give her the benefit of the doubt today.
I
that
don't
she
want to
didn't
give
make
her the
it.
benefit of
Well,
the
of course
doubt.
not. But that's where you're coming from on this one. I will say I like the discussion that you had this morning with Greg Bortolin. I think a healthy, honest review of how the media portrays political figures is important to discuss. I also think that we have the district attorney here today who has lots of interesting things to say.
I've never seen. I've never seen. Well, I was going to say, one of the questions that I wanted to ask Sharon Engel is she was very much against question 9, which is the marijuana question. Jan Gilbert appears to be in favor of it. You certainly have had strong opinions. You've been interviewed across the country on this question, correct?
All, coast to coast. I've managed to give interviews all the way from New York to California and from Texas to probably, well, no, like Utah.
And what are the kind of questions that people are asking you?
People I don't think understand that we're under the scrutiny right now nationwide. There's a consortium, and I could even call them conspiracy if I need to, there's a billionaire and a couple of millionaires involved. They are extremely interested in legalizing drugs across the board in the United States, and Nevada is the test ground. And that's, just to put it very bluntly, we are the test ground. They've spent so far this election cycle, they've spent over $500,000 in this state to legalize, and that's before they started running the ads and everything, so I don't even know where their tally is now.
But the opposition might say that this is some form of sanity in trying to get a drug that a lot of people feel is beneficial for people who are seriously ill, to get this at least legalized for them. In fact, in the state, Silver State, it already is. And to change laws that a lot of folks think are completely inappropriate.
Hey guys, really, this is an issue of how much. I mean, 3 ounces is a heck of a lot of weed. I don't think that a lot of people should be carrying that around. It also begs the question of how's it going to be distributed. I think this is the Trojan horse that Nevadans need to really oppose.
See what you made a comment
Otherwise,
there.
we might be the snake oil capital of the world.
You made a comment there and made me start smiling. That was that they'll say this. Well, they'll say anything, and they've said anything, and they've said everything in order to try to justify what they're trying to do here. What it comes down to is they are trying to legalize, decriminalize, I don't care what word you use, marijuana at 3 ounces, which is 3 times that. That's about an ounce of marijuana. I wish I brought it with me. I know we were going to discuss this morning.
Yeah, we wish you'd brought
it
with you, Terry.
Oh, yeah, I've got it. 3 ounces, as a matter of fact. That's a bunch of grass. 90 to 120 cigarettes, and they'll say anything to get it legalized here.
I mean, I think Sandy Heverly from Mothers Against Drunk Driving had the best line the other day when she said, I think you need 3 ounces of common sense to decide where you are on this.
But realistically, though, people are smoking marijuana in the Silver State and across this nation. Police departments are not prosecuting these cases. They're going after more serious crimes. With the amount of drugs being sold, and I'm talking marijuana at this point across the country, does it not make sense to tax it? And if we're going to be the first state to do it, we've got a huge budget crisis. Wouldn't that make sense?
Well, and that's a great point, too, because that's been brought up by the proponents. The feds, in fact, Drug Czar John Walters will be here next week, back into the state of Nevada. They have made it real clear. You go right ahead and you legalize this and you try to sell it and you try to tax it, and we're going to fall on you like a ton of bricks. You're not going to do it. It's against federal law. So that's another one of these little willows of the wisp that they're trying to throw out there to justify this, and it's not going to happen.
But doesn't that open up a national debate in the Congress?
That's in Congress. That's in Washington, D.C. And I'm against it now, Sam, but I have never said that I'm against marijuana. What I keep saying is it needs a lot more research, it needs a lot more study, it needs to go before the Food and Drug Administration, the American Medical Association, which, by the way, has a policy that says don't legalize marijuana, and they also say it needs more study. Once we get there and we find out if it does have medicinal propensities, if it does have other things, and it's not a Schedule I controlled substance dangerous drug, then we can look at what to do with it at that time. But we haven't gotten there yet.
But also, isn't this, I mean, the bottom line is if the federal laws and the federal law does take precedence over state, I mean, isn't this sort of moot?
That's the issue I keep trying to raise, but people aren't listening.
What we have to think about is establishing a tax structure in the state of Nevada that will not only support good education and other social issues and the environment so that we can have economic diversity.
What's wrong with the lottery?
We have to, hang on a second. We have to do our
We don't have
predictions here.
enough
We're out of
time.
time.
Right.
Dick, prediction for us.
I predict this is going to be a very interesting election season because with 22 ballot questions and the balance of the legislature hanging and everything else, I really hope I'm predicting, I really hope it happens that we have a tremendous voter turnout in this state to do this.
Okay, quickly, Martha.
I predict that Jan Gilbert will undoubtedly win because she follows in the footsteps of two wonderful women, the late Jan Evans and the former Senator Sue Wagner.
Okay, great. The last word.
I think that a state lottery will get a lot of review at the next legislature, but at the end of the day, we won't have the population base to support it.
Okay, and we'll be right back after this.
Looking for the fountain of youth? IGF may just have the answer. A convenient human growth hormone spray for a more youthful you. Available at the Herb Lady today.
If you've lived in Reno for a while, then you know the best values in furniture for your home are found at Rick's Furniture Warehouse, where you always find everyday low prices. If you're new to Reno, then you owe it to yourself to come by Rick's to find the best furniture values. Rick's giant warehouse is stocked with a huge selection of living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture and accessories. If you haven't been to Rick's lately, stop by. There's new furniture arriving every week. In Reno, there's only one place with everyday low prices. That's Rick's Furniture Warehouse at the corner of Moana and Gitski Lane.
For the latest in medical breakthroughs and health facts, News Channel 8 gives you the details you'll need for a better quality of life.
Medical news from Northern Nevada's #1 news source. Medical Minutes with Terry Russell. Weeknights at 5 on News Channel 8. Sponsored by Washoe Medical Center. Sesame Street Live is coming to Reno October 8th and 9th, and News Channel 8 Daybreak is giving you a chance to win tickets. Simply log on to KOLOTV.com to register for tickets to Let's Be Friends. You'll have a new chance to win each day.
Gourmets, wine lovers, connoisseurs, don't miss Lake Tahoe's celebration of fine wines and inspired cuisine at the 17th Annual Autumn Food and Wine Festival, October 19th and 20th at the resort at Squaw Creek. 2 days of fine wines and lifestyle seminars will conclude with a grand tasting as over 30 of Tahoe's most prestigious chefs are paired with spectacular wines from all over the world. The Lake Tahoe Autumn Food and Wine Festival is brought to you by these fine sponsors. For tickets and lodging, contact Lake Tahoe Central Reservations at mytahoevacation.com.
Tomorrow morning on News Channel 8 Daybreak, we'll be whipping up a new dish that your taste buds are going to love.
And I'll have the forecast tell you how chilly it's going to be and if there's a chance of snow this week.
Join us.
You know, we have another show going on over on the other side of the table here.
I know. Well, the pundits keep punditing, you know.
Well, very interesting show today, and interesting that Dick Gammick has been across the country on television and radio talking about this marijuana issue, and it'll be interesting to see how it actually plays out.
Third week in October, we have a whole show dedicated to this, so we will be getting into that more in depth.
Okay, what's coming up tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have Dean Heller, the Secretary of State, to talk about TRPA, to talk about campaign finance reform, and to talk about Senator Randolph Townsend and the PERS investments.
Which Senator Townsend has now gone away from, but it's still an issue to talk about.
Senator Townsend is going to be with us on October 16th, so I want everybody to know that we're fair about these things. Also, tomorrow we have Don Gustafson and Debbie Smith, who are running for Assembly District 30. Again, voters will have a real choice, provided they both show up. And that one is a Democrat, the other is Republican, and they are very much in that mold.
Okay, all right, so it should be an interesting debate there as well. Right. Now, don't forget, you can send us comments and even questions for our upcoming guests by directing your mail to newsmakers@KOLOTV.com. That's newsmakers@KOLOTV.com. We'd appreciate hearing from you, and join us next time on the next Nevada Newsmakers.
And let's not forget our pundits tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Ferraro, Martha Gould, and Dick Gammick.
Okay.
There we go.